Welcome back to the Real Life and Fishing Podcast. I'm the host, Jimmy Easterling, and today on episode 4, we have a young Central Arkansas tournament angler, Bryar Haislip. And guys, Bryar, I have a great relationship with Bryar. Bryar was one of my kids that I coached, one of my beginning kids that I coached. Guys, I remember meeting him at 16, 17 years old, and we talk about that a little bit. We go through on this podcast some of the ups and downs of fishing. We talk about, like for example, we kind of get some gray area. Like, is it okay to plant brush piles and fish tournaments? Like, is it okay to plant a brush pile and then go fish 2 days later? We also talk about, we share some stories. He shares a story that was pretty scary with his dad. He shares an experience with me where he got to see the coachee side that normally don't really get to come out, the kind of wild coachee that, I kind of don't want to. I want to keep him in the cage. But man, guys, this is a great podcast. Bryar is a great young man, and man, I'm glad he got to join me today and got to be on here, and for you guys get to experience it as well. And I appreciate you guys staying with us and being a part of the Real Life and Fishing family. Let's help us grow. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Share it with your family, friends. I'm trying to, once again, one of my goals is I want this to be the biggest Arkansas fishing podcast, okay? And so, and you guys, I want y'all to be a part of it. I want y'all to be part of the family. And so I appreciate you watching. I have a couple other recorded. I'm working on getting some more scheduled right now. So hang in there and keep, tuning back, giving us some feedback, leaving some comments in the YouTube. And it really means a lot. I appreciate the comments. And guys, this podcast is brought to you by Futural Marine, which is the #1 Arkansas marine dealer. Guys, Futural Marine carries top brands such as Ranger, Express, Bennington, Barletta pontoon and tri-toon boats. If you have any questions about a boat, give Futural Marine a call. I've been in a Ranger lately, and guys, as you know, Ranger is one of the top bass boats out there, been one of the top bass boats for the century. It's a great deck, it's a great ride. I feel safe when I'm in it. And guys, so if you have a question about a boat, and it can be anything from electronics to setting up your live scope to getting a trolling motor, once again, if you like, like me, I love the boating life. I love to go boat at Lake Ouachita. Tri-toon, pontoon boat, give them a call. 3rd generation family business and the top marine in the state. Also, guys, we filmed this podcast at Family Farm Christian Day Camp, which is in Glen Rose, Arkansas. And guys, if you've not heard of Family Farm, check them out. They're about to have their Fall Fest coming up. It's a great way to go take your kids. If you have young kids, anywhere, young kids, even teenagers, to go to the Fall Fest where they're about to have pumpkins. They're going to have slides. They got a bunch of activities, man. And they also have their great summer Christian Day Camp, which is in the summer months. Those spots are hard to get, so go ahead, get signed up if you have not. And guys, there we go. I think I'm 3 minutes in and y'all are ready for this podcast. Let's get into it. Podcast. Hey, today I got a special guest. This guest, man, he means a lot to me. And we go back to what, you were 17, 18 years old?
15 when we met.
15 when we met. So in 2016, I got to Haskell Harmony Grove and was a high school fishing coach. This was one of the first kids that I met. And I wouldn't believe that now we not just have the relationship we do, not just saying we're doing this podcast, but man, I'm just going to start this off with your dad, Russell. Love Russell. Dude, he's great. He said at a tournament, as our first one at Brewer, he said, Jimmy, you don't know what you've created. You're going to have a relationship with some of these kids forever. And I'm over here looking at him like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, dude, you have created friendships. He goes, you're coaching and mentoring these kids, but you're going to be 50 years old and they're going to be 35, 40, still talking to you.
Oh, yeah.
And then here we are today. We're not 50 and 40 yet. but man, dude, so guys, I'm glad having Bryar on. Bryar fishes centrally in Arkansas, fishes everywhere. You like to take trips randomly.
Yep.
You love bass fishing.
I do. I like to get out of Central Arkansas every now and then.
Bryar, man, has taught me a lot about fishing. I've taught him. You've been fishing for a long time.
I have.
How long you think?
Man, I got a picture of my grandma and I. My dad, he busted it out not too long ago, sent it to me. I was 3. Back at the ponds behind our house, 3 years old. So I guess 20 years.
Wow, this guy, and he likes it so much, he actually caught some fish right before you got here.
I did.
Yeah, we're not going to say where, though. We keep all, remember everybody, we keep
confidential.
We keep some stuff quiet. Now, if you want to hear some of the off-air juice, just send me a bid and we'll talk about it, okay? That Matt Baker one's pretty high right now. But anyway, Bryar, I'm glad to have you on. Appreciate it. I know you fish the tournament trails. You like to fish for fun.
Yes,
And part of this too is just to kind of get more about you. And so just talk a little bit about, I mean, you fished in high school.
Yep.
And then you have fished, but you didn't just fish high school tournaments. You fished team trails. You fish a bunch of little different tournament trails. You're one of those guys I say that just loves the tournament fish.
I do like it. And one of the things that if I could go back and redo, that I would tell a ninth grader if he walked up to me right now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Enjoy your high school fishing. Take it slow.
Yep.
Take it slow. I had a couple different people that wanted me to fish team trail with them. I think when I was 16 or 17, and we did it. We had a great time. But once you get out on your own, if you're still able to fish, it gets to the point if you hop in 3, 4, 5 different circuits and you're working, it becomes too much.
Yeah.
You wake up, you're not like, man, I get to go fish. I gotta go fish.
And you, man, you worked at Everett for how many years? 4 years?
Right at 5.
5.
Yep.
So you did sell cards at Everett. Now you're at Middleton Heat and Air, and it's gonna allow you to fish more time. Because do it at Everett, you were out there 6 days a week.
Yep.
You couldn't fish, and those guys at Everett. I mean, you're on the car lots from sun up to sundown.
Yep. We got to work about 7:20 every morning. And it was at minimum 7 every night. So
you couldn't fish as much. Now with Middleton, hopefully opportunities there to fish, except when you get those 440 calls and you have to sell them. But that's part of it.
Yep.
Hopefully that works. I hope you get a couple more.
Well, you got to make a little bit of money. But no, it'll be a much better opportunity for me to go and fish a little bit more, and it'll be a good time. Spend some more time with family than we were able to before. So big important deal.
Now I'm going to go ahead and get into this one. We fished together when you were younger in high school. We fished some together. I remember going to Washita a couple times. We went to the Gray.
Yep.
There was one tournament though, and we're going to talk about it. It was you and Harklaw. It was an evening night tournament. Evening night tournament. There's a lot of good truths to this story, and there's a lot of things we're going to talk about. A lot of learning, I think, points. So we fished this night tournament, evening night. It was a club only tournament, guys. Haskell, Harmony Grove, Cardinals, go Cards, and there was 8, 9 boats. It was a club. Yeah, it was a club only, and it was our first, and at that time only, evening night derby. We fished from 6 to midnight or 6 to 11. 6 to 11, I think.
6 to 11.
6 to 11. It was out of Mount Harbor. And I went up that day, tried to find some fish, thought I found some fish, but some stuff happened. You want to share some things that kind of happened a little bit, or?
Yeah. We'll tone it down depending on what audience is listening.
Yeah, we're gonna go, and I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna go G-rated.
We'll go the G-rated version of it, but my dad actually at the time was hurt. He just had shoulder surgery, and Jimmy volunteered to boat captain us since he was hurt. We were leading angler of the year that year, and didn't need to miss a tournament. Well, he tells us again, had been down there all day, thought he had some fish found. We get there, the wind's blowing 15, 20 miles an hour.
The wind picked up.
Wind was getting after it, and we're going down this bank. Harklaw and I are standing on the front deck of the boat, solid 2-3 foot from the trolling motor. The wind's blowing us. We're chunking, we're winding, we're fishing. This dude blows up. Blows up. Yeah, he was hung up. Neither one of us had any clue. And again, we'll keep it G, but he let me know in a very specific way that he wished I would stop the boat and turn around and go get his bait. And I was confused. I simply said, "Sir," and it's one thing led to another, and he he realized that I didn't know what was going on, and he didn't. He thought we were on the trolling motor. Anyways, we had a good little 10-15 minutes.
We had to come to Jesus meeting.
Good little 10-15 minutes of warfare and in silence. And caught a couple fish and everything was good.
Yeah, so
it's been a fun little story ever since then.
Yeah, so I went crazy Coach E mode. I'm talking over the line, and I did tell y'all after that 10 minutes of silence, I was like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry. I just went past the line. I shouldn't have said some of those things, and I made a mistake." And y'all guys accepted it right then. And I appreciate you guys. And that's a teaching point for dads, coaches, teachers that I knew
is you let the kids know when you make mistakes. And I went off, guys. I did. I don't do that much, if any. But there's some things, like I said, I was back there, hey guys, I'm hung up, and the wind's blowing against me. I wasn't talking loud enough. Y'all couldn't hear. And anyway, yeah. But I did tell you, I told you guys I was sorry. And I think your dad was like, no, don't tell me you're sorry.
Yeah.
It's your boat.
Yeah, he's got into me a couple times.
But yeah, so that was a point though. I just wanted like people to hear that, like, me as a dad now, I got a 17-month-old, and I coach kids. But like, it's okay to tell them when you mess up.
It is.
And to tell them, hey, I'm. But hey, didn't we win the tournament that night?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So hey, it was like 3 or 4 fish. I don't think we had. If I remember, I don't think we had a limit.
No, we all had a limit.
Did we?
Yeah. You and Hartlaw had 3. Remember, I could put 2 in. That was a tournament I could put 2 in. But I had 2 names.
That's right.
I had 2 12-inch Kentuckys.
That's right.
But you caught the big fish. Man, that was a long time ago. You had the big bass.
We caught it in Mountain Harbor.
Yeah, we did.
Close to Mountain.
Yeah, close to Mountain Harbor.
Somewhere.
But Hartlaw lost a giant too.
He did. We brought that. He was at my house. Oh, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. We've been trying to install these lights that go inside my Raptors.
Yeah.
On my bullet. And the guys at Sea Light portray this to be like a 30-minute project.
Yeah.
And we're 3 meetings in to trying to put these lights in my barrels. Every time we start, we realize we don't have something that we need. We both work all day. We're not going to go to town. I say we, it's really him. I'm no electrician.
Yeah.
But we brought that up. That whole tournament, we got to laughing so hard. He's talking about how he lost a big fish. Then, we had that whole little deal we just talked about.
Yeah. Coach
the ups and downs of basketball.
Coach E went off. Coach E lost it. Y'all, we won the tournament. It ended up we won the tournament. It's some good stuff. Good stuff.
It was good. It was a good time. I'd go do it again.
Yeah, I will too. That was great.
Absolutely.
Hey, you talked about your dad's shoulder. Was that? I just had this memory. This is good stuff about the podcast and us talking. Your dad, was that shoulder? When did you jump in the lake after your dad?
That was after the shoulder. So,
share that story.
Man,
that's scary. That's a scary moment.
It was. It was a scary moment for all of us. We were very, very blessed that it wasn't worse than it was. That was 2017. My parents growing up, my parents have been phenomenal. Love them both to death. Never been anything but supportive.
Good people. Yes.
Great people. You hear this from people, but I can confidently say my parents are the best people I've ever met. And they bought me my first boat. It was a 1986 Ranger 350V.
I think a great first boat.
I wish I still had it. Bryson Kendi, which I'm sure will be on,
I want Bryson on. Bryson
at some point in time, he'll probably be here and he'll hear this. But he just sold it. He's been fishing out of it.
I forgot that one. That was it.
Yeah. He's won tons of money out of it. That boat.
Why did you buy it back? Restore it. Put a live
should have. I regret not doing it. He's got one. He's got more than the boat's worth wrapped up in graphs. But sucker, you got to give it to him. I mean, he's won some change in it. But, we were at Lake Brewer. We took it out the very first time we went and put it in the water. And you fish Brewer.
Yeah.
There will be people that listen to this that have fished Lake Brewer. Right. There's not pleasure boaters very often on Lake Brewer.
Nope.
I mean, really, this might be the only time that I can remember I've ever seen.
I've never seen a pontoon
big party barge
or a party
on Lake Brewer. Well, again, 1986 model boat. My dad, he's got the butt. He's on the back deck. He's leaning up against the butt seat. We're fishing bushes, flipping. We're catching a couple fish. Nothing crazy. This party barge drives, gets real close to us, shuts down probably 20 or 30 yards from us. This is a dang 17-foot boat, so it's not like we're out there and the stuff that we fish in now. We're not in the big 20, 21-foot boat.
Yeah.
Well, Russell is not small. As you know Russell. He's a big guy. This wave hits the back of the boat, and the wood on the back deck cracked. He's leaning, he's bobbing, and it cracked. Well, when it did, that seat gave a little bit, and he fell.
Yeah.
My dad has been fishing his whole life, which he's going to turn 60 this year. Does not know how to swim.
I remember that part of the story.
Has no clue how to swim. never learn,
And
doesn't
just-
want to, doesn't care.
And just so people know, get a visual, if you don't know Russell, he's tall.
He is. He's 6'3" or 6'4".
I mean, he's not like
Yeah.
me and you, 5'10". I mean,
No, he's a big dude.
he's
You wouldn't
big.
think looking at me. I mean, he's a hammer. He's a big guy.
I mean, he's an offensive tackle.
Yeah, he's big.
I mean, if there's a fight out in the field, I want Russell on my side.
That's a fact.
That's
Yeah.
fine. I mean,
Yeah,
he can grab me. I thought he might have done it one day. Like he can grab me and just pick me up.
Yeah, he's all there. He's old. He's grumpy. He'll probably call me after he hears that.
Yeah, he called me old and grumpy.
That's Russell. All my friends love him. But
Yeah,
I don't guess I've ever met a lot of people that don't like him.
yeah, no, he's great. So he falls in.
He falls in, and it just. I didn't even think about it. It hit me, and I went in. I dove in right then. This is in, I think, March, if I remember.
It was cold.
And the water's like 50 degrees.
It was cold. I remember that much.
Well, again, we were fishing bushes, and he fell off the back. I'm standing on the front. So I jumped at an angle. I didn't really dive, but I kind of dove. And I knew I hit something, but I kind of hit it and kept going. It's just adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's nothing but pure adrenaline. And I grabbed him and got him, and we kind of, he was in shock. You hit cold water, you take a deep breath, and I was in shock, and I was holding on to the boat, holding on to him, and basically got him back up in the boat, and we got to land, and I got back up in the boat. And, we made sure that each other were okay, and went straight back to the boat ramp. Well, I went and got the truck. We got the boat on the trailer. We got in the truck. So I can't see out of my left eye.
Yeah.
And he looked at me. He was still pretty gill-farted, trying to catch his breath. He looked at me. He's like, "Dude, your eye is already swelling shut."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Let me drive home." I was like, "It's fine. I'll drive." And anyways, we freaking turned the heat on and make our trek back home. And, call my mom, let her know. She was freaking out, worried, which she had every right to be. We got home, got the boat put up, got back inside, and by that night, and you've seen pictures of it, but my eye, I'm talking.
Oh, it's scary.
I had a bruise that big on the side of my
I
face.
mean, you're lucky you didn't have eye damage or face.
The doctor told me that if I would have hit the stump, that's what I hit a stump.
Yeah.
With my eyeball, he said if you would have hit it any harder, your eye would have fell out of your face.
Yeah, that's
Straight up.
When I saw and heard the story, I remember, like, wow, fortunate, because I had a little eye thing happen when I was in high school, but man, like, both scenarios, your dad didn't drown, water's cold.
Could have been bad. Could have been bad in several different ways.
Yes, I mean, you could have, if you would have, anyway, very fortunate, but that's one thing about fishing. People, you don't expect that to happen. You don't go to the lake and think, "Oh, I'm going to fall out of the boat today," or "Hey," or "I'm going to
No,
hit."
you don't.
Yeah, and so we're very. Sometimes you always got to be on guard.
You do. And one of the things that I've realized that I think that is important for everybody, I went through a period. I got so comfortable in a boat, and you can ask a lot of my buddies; they'll tell you. I've ran a boat in places a boat should not be ran.
Yeah.
I've had quite a few boats that run good.
Uh-huh.
And there was a while that I didn't wear a life jacket at all unless I was in a tournament. If I was in Mr. Bass, Trader Bill's, Team Trail, something that required it, or if you got polygraphed and they asked you that question, you would be DQ'd. That's the only time I wore a life jacket. And I think that, that's something that should be pushed more, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I go to some of the smaller lakes that I fish, and I'm not going to 30 miles an hour, I'll make sure that I put it on.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a guy that he'll listen to this. He fishes with me quite a bit. You talk to him every day. He's bad about it.
I know who it is.
I hand it to him every time he gets in my boat now. He'll be like, "Dude, we're running 100 yards. Put your seatbelt on. We ain't doing it."
Put it on.
You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. It's just it can be unfortunate.
And you have a newer boat, and I was going to ask you, I forgot. Do you have the that new chain lock system on the back motor?
I don't have a leash yet.
That's a leash.
I will have a leash.
I want to, as much as I've ran Millwood, And like I've heard of the horror stories of the motors coming on the deck and that prop still
100%.
going. And I'm over here like how lucky I've been.
100%.
And I had one little scary accident one time on Millwood. We're not going to talk about it, but that leash is something I know. I haven't even looked how much there are.
I think they're a little bit over $200, but
Really,
yeah, they're expensive, realistically. But you know, Quincy Houchin and I were talking about this a couple of months ago.
Yeah,
you're running high muddy water. Essentially, pretty much everywhere you go in the state of Arkansas in the springtime is going to get high.
Yep.
There will be flooded timber. There will be floaters. There will be whatever, and that's it. I mean, you're talking $200 where it's knocking your motor off.
Yeah.
Coming in the boat, killing you, killing your partner. So, I mean, that's a great program. I think everybody around here should have one. I plan on ordering one the next week or two, realistically.
Wow, okay.
It just...
I don't have a lower unit on my boat right now, so...
Yeah, you don't need one right now.
I don't have a lower unit right now. But hopefully when the podcast comes out, I have one.
Yeah.
I kind of got the ball. The ball kind of got rolling today. Hopefully we're there now. I'm enjoying fishing in the Ranger I've been in, though.
Yeah, I've seen it. That boat looks...
That boat's
time.
sweet. I'll say it right now. That boat is owned by a good friend of mine, and I'm gonna bring that up. And it's for sale at Future Marine, who sponsors the podcast. If anybody's interested, it's a 21 maybe Ranger 521 Pro XS. Dude, we call it the Death Star. But my Bass Cat, you're in a Bass Cat once. Your bullet's a skinnier deck. I've always been that skinnier deck. Now I'm in that Ranger. I've been fishing out of. It's a giant deck. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I don't got to worry about falling in like I did on my Bass Cat.
Yep.
But real quick, I was going to ask, as we're talking, this kind of happened this way. As we talk about falling out of boats, potential wrecks, do you have life insurance?
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely.
Because as fishermen, we might need life insurance for a lot of ways, but let's say we have an accident in the water.
Absolutely.
I want to be able to have my wife, kids, something.
Well, and you know, I got married this May.
You got married, yeah.
So that's really when it kind of hit me. You know, we're very fortunate, and we've got some stuff. We own some stuff, and you know, if anything ever does happen to me, I would like Lauren to be in a position to where she will be okay.
Yeah.
And it's another thing that I think everybody for sure needs.
Yeah, and I bring that up just because if anybody does not, and you're interested, my man Michael Howard, who's one supporter of me, Michael was like, I was in his boat. That's the boat I was just talking about.
Oh yeah.
He's an insurance agent with Farm Bureau. His link's going to be in the description. If you're interested in some life insurance,
I might have to see what's up there.
Give him a call, guys. I don't know if you're hearing all the noise right now. I'm gonna pause real quick because there's some kids playing out there, and I'm gonna go hit pause real quick. Hopefully we helped out the audio there. So Bryar, you fish Trader Bill's, Mr. Bass.
Yep.
I don't. I might one day.
Yeah.
I might.
Yeah. What? Just out of curiosity, what has kept you from fishing some of the tournaments that come down your way, especially opposed to some of the stuff around here, given the knowledge that you do have on these lakes?
Yeah. So, man, and I've talked about it a little bit. I guess there's so much. There's like 10 factors, probably 5. I don't know. One thing, I don't know which ones I'm going to talk about because there's a lot. I could talk about this for 40 minutes. So I was a football coach. Let's go this one.
Okay.
Because there's a lot. I was a football coach and a fishing coach, as you know. There's 2 things with this. When I was coaching football, I competed every day. Every day competed. A lot of people fish competitively to get that competition.
Yep.
And I got it in every day. So fishing to me was my getaway. I love challenging the fish, or the challenge of figuring fish out. And then and this is what I kind of talked to you about, that I'm going to get it more. So when I was a younger person, and I got my boat and I was fishing a lot, I was fishing, I was working 5 days a week. As a coach, you can't take time off.
No. Full-time job.
Yeah, as a coach, teacher, you can't take off. So I fished on the weekends, some evenings when the summer came, right, the spring, fished some evenings, but I was a weekend guy. And I saw what tournaments I was locked into 8 to 3 o'clock. And I was like, hey, why fish 8 to 3 when I can fish 8 to 3, daylight to 3? I can fish daylight to dark. And then I was like, so I'll get more hours in. Over time, hours going to add up. And then it was the practice. When I realized some of these guys have jobs set up, and some of them it's because their careers are good and they've retired, whatever, but they're on the water 4 days a week. I then realized I'm mismatched because as a football coach,
100% disadvantage.
We have to go by rules. College especially, we can only practice 2 hours a day or do this or this. And so I was at a sport to where there's a lot of, like baseball, you're throwing the same baseball. You're using the same bat.
Yeah.
Fishing, and here you go, this is it. Fishing, you're not. So as a 23, 24-year-old, I was in a position where I didn't have the equipment that some dudes have, which you can still win without it. Like I know,
Absolutely.
like I mean, even Matt Baker right now, he's on the podcast, you know, Matt's doing it with an older boat, one live scope, one graph, but Matt is winning the time battle. Now that's part of his sacrifice. He's not working normal job. I'm going to give Matt that credit, but he's on the water more than anybody.
Absolutely.
Maybe not more than anybody, but he's on the water. So, but there's anglers that when I was, at me as 24, 25 years old, I realized they're on the water. I'm at a disadvantage. And I also knew that, and this is fine, this is a gray area in my opinion. When you're planting brush piles and you're doing that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
And then you know, and I'm not stirred up right here. I don't want to get too far. Like, hey, if you're doing that, that's good. That's your game. But KVD, don't go to Lake Cayuga and plant brush piles. Or go to Guntersville and plant this. So I was so far into the big time pro scene, I was like, I'm just at a disadvantage. So I didn't want to go give my money. Now I'll say it right here on air. You know, in the future, I'm looking into it, and I'm pretty good. Like with my job now, I'm on the water a lot. I mean, even this last year when they came down to Millwood, it wasn't timing for me because I had other stuff. But if I had my schedule set up and I could have done Millwood 3 days in a row, oh yeah, it would have happened. I would have fished that Mr. Bass. But my schedule didn't line up, and I probably would have done better without. Now, Millwood's a place you need time on the water to kind of get prepared. But I don't know. So that's why I love the Trader Bill's trip. You have 5 days,
Yep.
off limits, show up and fish. And you saw this year, Timmy, who I got a text from Timmy a minute ago. Timmy's going to be on the show. Now, Timmy and Jeremiah's experience showed out. Dude, that showed out.
I don't know Timmy nearly as personal as Jeremiah. Obviously, you know, me, Bryson and I were fishing partners for a long time. I actually talked to Jeremiah on the phone yesterday for a while, probably 30 or 40 minutes. But those guys, they're just,
I mean, dude, like,
they're
unreal.
On a different level than a lot of people.
Unreal. But even in that series, dude, there's guys, your normal weekday, like you, working 5 days a week, has a chance to win with that 5 day off limits. And it showed. Some of your hammers that are out there every day that can't be, all of a sudden are at a disadvantage. Because some of those guys, like this thing about Timmy and Jeremiah, they got so much knowledge. You know that's going through their mind.
Oh, yeah.
Do I go check this spot? Do I go check this? They made a lot of great decisions.
Yes,
to where some of those other guys, like at Ouachita, and they know so much about Ouachita, when you go to take off and that lake rose like it did this year, 1, 2, 3 bad decisions put you in a disadvantage. Or it could help. It depends.
It cost us.
Yeah.
I'm talking, we at 10 o'clock we were done. Now my boat did break down that tournament, but it didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And we knew that. 10 o'clock, my partner and I chose to do something that we knew was a gamble. And we knew if we would have got on it, we would have had a chance to win it. Mm-hmm. And, you know, looking back, 29 pounds on that tournament.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have caught 29 pounds.
Yep.
But very, very well possibly could have had low 20s. And we knew that doing it, but we knew it was a very big risk.
Yeah.
Just like you said, some of those guys that have got all of that history on that lake, they knew how to adjust right then and go what they needed to go do. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of people, that's more difficult to do. I've got lakes that are like that.
I mean, you grew up on the Gray.
I do, yeah.
You caught some big fish on the Gray.
And I've struggled fishing that lake the past couple of years.
Yeah,
realistically,
you're either, just for me talking to you, you're either hammering them or it's not.
Yeah, that's also how I fish too.
I know.
I've got
that's me too.
I've got quite a few buddies that they're not dissing anybody, not knocking how anybody fishes, but I'm not the. If I go and catch 10 pounds, it's on accident.
Yeah,
that's just how the cards played.
Yeah.
And I'm not happy about it. You know how much 11-pound bag, you know how much money that cost me on one tournament this year.
Yeah.
Just because I let my emotions get the best of me and lost a fish that thought cost me a check.
Yeah.
Ended up costing me the entire tournament. So,
but with me not fishing tournaments, it's hard, and I did some here and there like when I was younger, but it's helped because like I've told you guys when when that BFL went to Greer's Ferry or this tournament went to Greer's Ferry, I was fishing Lake Fork or Ouachita to Gray. I fished where there are good fish populations, and nothing against Greer's Ferry. I don't want to go catch 50 12-inch fish.
Well, that's a possibility there.
And
now
you catch big ones at Greer's.
It is. No, there's a lot of big fish in Greer's, but I dedicated a lot of time to learning that place.
Yeah.
And they're few and far between. I mean, I don't care. There's guys that fish up there that are popular, that are great.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they might be the best in the state of Arkansas fishing Greer's Ferry. And you'll see Mr. Bass, Trader Bill's, BFL, whatever, go up there and they'll do horrible.
Yeah.
That's how that place is. I got fortunate the year before last and could have done good this year and threw my fish.
Yeah.
But it'll humble you. It's kind of like Lake Hamilton.
Yeah.
Lake Hamilton has been my kryptonite at times. Carson and I have won quite a bit of money out there.
Dude, you when you were a high school kid, that was one thing that's cool about me as y'all's coach. I learned a lot from you guys on some like Hamilton. Me and Johnny from Fish the Moment, like that's our lake that like we want redemption on. And I remember calling Johnny when he started his channel, like, dude, my kids are catching like this. And he's like, no way. I'm like, dude, they just caught 17 pounds in a high school tournament. And Johnny's like, how many times have we gone out there and not done that?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, but what y'all did, and like I said, I learned from it. I'm not going to get into the juice of it. But Hamilton, y'all.
They're there.
Oh, they're there right now too.
That's another one of those spots. I don't know when this is going to air. I can't talk a whole lot about it. I'm, might be boat captaining for a professional event in 2 weeks, but I don't think the two South African gentlemen that are going to be in my boat is probably going to hear this. But it's a Greer's deal all over.
Yeah.
There's an overabundance of 12 to 13-inch fish, and it's very spot oriented.
Yeah.
It's a 7,500 acre lake, and I can tell you, Carson will tell you, there's been several times that we filled my Phoenix up with 60 gallons of gas in a day tournament, and would leave almost empty.
Yeah.
It's just it will get you. Mm-hmm. It'll get you. And one of the things that I was curious to hear your opinion on, you brought it up. I've always asked people this out of curiosity.
Okay.
Plant and brush.
Yeah.
Anybody that fishes in Central Arkansas, fishes Lake Hamilton, you can't go 30 foot without finding a brush pile.
Yeah.
On Lake Hamilton. So how do you think the plant and brush, the putting the man-made structures on top of docks, grass, rocks, everything else 20 years from now will affect that fishery?
That's interesting. So I've not thought of it that way. I haven't. Now, me doing what I do for a living, I have found out there are states to where you cannot plant brush. I didn't know that. Like, there are a lot of states up north. If you get caught planting brush, you're busted. You might have, like now, there are permits you can do. There are special ones that some states do. Like, our Game and Fish does theirs. But, like, these are, like, times 20. Like, our state does what they do because they also know our people plant brush. I have guys that plant brush. I'm like, hey, good for you because it's a lot of work. But, I never thought it was right to go plant that brush pile 4 days before an event. Like a big event.
People can do it because there's no rules against it.
That's right.
And the cold hard truth is, the best brush pile to fish is a brand new
100%. At times, yeah.
Let people in on a little Hamilton secret.
Yeah.
I can see a crew of people building a dock. I will pull up and fish that dock before any other dock on that bank.
Yep.
I will. Don't understand it. Don't get it. How it is. That's what they like it. I don't get it. But historically, the more cover in a lake, the harder it is to break down.
Yep.
The harder it is to decipher. You say you find a grass mat at Lake Ouachita that's 20 foot wide, 20 foot long. You go punch it, you catch a fish. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be able to dial a pattern in better with 4 or 5 20 by 20 grass mats, or a 500 yard by 500 yard grass mat. And that's something that I've been curious about. Only time will tell, obviously.
Yeah.
But what is the long term goal?
That's a good thought. Now, anybody listening, hopefully fishermen, as I learned the fishing world that I'm in, fishermen are prideful. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, I'm not like I can be your best friend if you make brush piles. I'm really good friends with two guys that make them. So don't.
Oh, I could care less. I hope
don't
I
get your
find it.
feelings hurt.
I'm just
okay?
saying this is food for thought.
No, you brought a good thought. I don't know, like, but hey, with Washita though, let's go on grass. The grass is coming back, and the gray. That's more cover. But grass is different than wood. Wood that's planted, not a tree that's in ground there. But I think that grass coming back, it's more cover, but it's better because it's alive. It's alive to where wood's chopped off that tree, or my bad, point 27. I don't even know what 27 is a point. It's 27 a point of that 9 at Washita. I think it's point 27 at Washita. You know, oh hey, look, there's some trees there fell down, and someone goes and pulls them out there, and and it's perfectly on the drop and everything. Anyway, I don't know. That's a good thought. That might be something I need to ask some people above me.
It's something. It's something.
Because Hamilton, it's everywhere.
That's not big. It's just something I've thought about.
I like it. That's what this is for.
It's really. I mean, you would be disgusted if you seen what my waypoints look like on Hamilton. Just from it's brush. Yeah, it really is.
Here you go. Let's talk more about some tournaments. Something I learned this last year that's crazy, but it's been going on forever. Guys, here I am. I'm naive to tournament fishing at times. I was. But I learned that this is a thing in tournament fishing, not like big trader bills. I think this is more small club stuff. And I talked to somebody, it happened in our neck of the woods, but it also happened in some Central Arkansas clubs. I talked to somebody about it, and he said it's true. And he's like, it's been going on for years. But I'm, once again, naive to it because I was a football coach, right, a math teacher. But fishing, like, let's say you have, like, Brewer, and let's just say, for example, I don't know JP, right? JP's a dude at Brewer, right?
Yep.
One of the hammers. Let's say I was a local and I saw JP fish this spot and this spot. I'm going to go during the week before the Brewer tournament, go fish his spot and try to catch his fish and burn him. Now, JP's so good at Brewer, that probably don't affect him. As I see the weights, it don't affect him. I'm just saying, like, people going to other people's spots and catching the fish and either moving them, like in the spring, catch like going down Brewer Bank or Hamilton, a stretch of docks, whatever, catching fish and moving them, or just catching them to sore lip them. I got told of that happening in 2 kind of clubs, and it's happened forever. And I was just like, "What? I never thought of somebody doing that."
Oh yeah.
And I'm over here just like, "Come on, man!" I mean, I guess there's that saying, "If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying." But like, and there's once again nothing in the rules about it, because once again, it's a public body of water, But like, I've heard at the top level, BPT, Bass Pro, Bass stuff. Let's say there's an area with some big fish on beds, like, and they see other guys see them, like, and if they're watching them practice, they'll go catch them just so the other guys won't catch them. But it's strategy. That gets to the strategy side. That's why I'm over here like.
Well, and like I've told you before,
like that's the strategy side. It's kind of interesting.
I hate to say it, but there was a lake last year that I got one day the week before the tournament to pre-fish, and I did not pre-fish in the area I knew I was going to fish it.
Yeah.
Just because that area is the most popular on that lake. Mm-hmm. And about half the field runs to it every time. Yeah. I mean, it's like clockwork. All of them are straight up there. Yeah. And I went up there and burned them down. Yeah. Why would you not? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's not cheating, but some may call it a little dirty. But there's plenty of
there's strategy to it.
Plenty of dirty.
Yeah.
Plenty of strategy.
Yeah, that's one thing about I like that week off limits. It's just hey.
That's the best way to go about it. Uh-huh. And the lakes fish better. The weights are higher.
The weights are higher. That's the thing this year. I've talked about like that BFL at Hamilton. I knew so many people that fished Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, cracked them, and then Saturday comes Washita this year.
Look at Lake Greason.
Yeah.
Lake Greason. I hate Lake Greason. Mm-hmm. I do.
That's some good fishing.
We did okay. We got 8th in Trader Bills.
Yeah.
But
a week off limits.
I don't remember how many teams were in it.
A lot.
I think 160, 170 teams fished.
They all had limits.
It was the first time in history. Every team that fished had a limit.
But did Baker win that one or no? That's Timmy and Jeremiah.
Nope. Bryar Pennington won that tournament. Him and his grandpa won.
Okay, Timmy and Jeremiah, were they like, they were top.
Third, fourth, I don't know.
Yeah, they were in the top deal. Matt won the APTT out there. That was it. But what I was going to skip, so Pennington won it. He's pretty good out there. Pennington won it. They had a week off limits. If it didn't have a week off limits, them fish are getting hammered. That lake's so small. I mean, it's getting there. I don't know what won it. 18 pounds or was it?
I think he had 18 or 19. He caught it.
Yeah,
he caught him real good.
But that tournament wouldn't have been. So that's one thing I do like about it too with the off limits. Is that, and like I said, earlier, my competitive nature's coming back. I've not fished many. I've only fished 2 tournaments this year. One was a 5 bass limit. One was a big bass. The big bass one burned me because I've told you I did some stuff wrong and couldn't get some fish to fire. But the 1 5 bass one I won, and it's fun when you win.
Oh yeah,
it's fun when you win. Yeah. And so I'm me and Johnny. I talked to Johnny today. We talked 3 times today. But we talked about the Trader Bills again. We're flirting with it.
That'd be bad.
We're flirting with it. But I'll tell people right now. And like I talked to Trent. I saw Trent up at Futrell. Trent Owens, he fishes them. Trent, I go to Futrell something to get stuff, and I see him up there, and he's like, "Do you need to come fishing?" But like I tell him, and I'm like, "Dude, it'll be a 0-0. I'll be zeroing, or I'll be bringing a big bag."
You get that much money on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Trader Bill's pays phenomenal.
Yeah.
Either way,
Is it $15,000 for first?
It is. Yep. It's $15,000.
That's a good.
Oh yeah. You win at $7,500 a pop. So it's
after tapping. That's a good. That's an extra paycheck.
Yeah. That's a good run for.
Or you win 2 of them, like somebody did this year.
Yeah, I mean, I won't do that. But, they will. I said, put it on one of my Facebook posts the other day. I'm there to donate and talk crap and hang out.
Oh, I'm gonna come. Yeah, I'm gonna come there and try to get some money. I say that. Watch, I'm gonna get. Yeah,
I'm excited this year to have a little bit more time to.
Are you doing Trader Bills this year?
More than likely, yeah. My partner, he's getting married on one of the tournaments, so we're.
Can you have phone a friend?
Well, I'm in it. I think I'm his best man in the wedding. If I'm not mistaken. So we'll be.
My bad. Which tournament's that?
It'll be the DeGray tournament tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh well. So wedding's only once.
I don't know.
Sometimes once.
I don't know. I think you can pay and not fish and still fish the championship.
There you go.
I don't know. I don't know where the championship's at.
So I like that. They don't know. They're not going to post it.
It'll
be on.
No, they don't. But it's pretty predictable.
It's on one of the 3.
It's on one of the 3 or Greason.
Greason.
I can tell you if they go ahead and dump that out there, I will not attend that. May.
Greason and May? Greason and May's going to be fun.
Greason's always fun. It's just frustrating.
Oh, Greason and
May. You can go catch a 100. It goes back to kind of like Greer's Ferry. Yeah. Some guys figure out how to catch big ones.
Yeah.
Some guys don't. We got lucky.
You've caught big fish at Greason, though.
Yeah, I have.
Dude, May's a good time to fish it.
I have. Not many, though. Not many. Yeah. We got lucky. We caught, I think it was a 5.90 or something this year.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that fish, we'd have been down there with everybody else, 6, 7.
And you had another one, right?
2.5 or something like that.
No, but you saw, or you had one on or something.
No, we caught them good in practice. We had a pretty good bag in practice. Wish we'd have had it in the tournament. That was 2 weeks before. I like how you brought us off. I want to do this real quick with you. What's a good coach, like besides the memory we had earlier, what's a good like fishing or moment with Coach E? I'd have to say, just top of my head, let's go Lake Dardanelle in January.
Well, that was a bad day.
I don't know why we did that. I don't know why we went there, but we went there.
That was a bad day.
It was, yeah. It was a cold day. Rough day, windy day, wet day.
It was all. Why did we go there?
We ended up catching fish. I don't know.
At the end of the day, no, that's what I say. It was a rough day, but at the end of the day,
on a jerkbait.
We got on a jerkbait.
We got on good.
After we went 7 hours of miserable.
I remember how frustrating that was. I can remember another good one. We checked out of school. I called my dad. You were like, let's go fish. Our girl probably shouldn't hear that, but he was like, hey, let's go fish.
I think I got it approved.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, I don't care whatever. Yeah. And we skipped off to Lake Washita. I'm going to put it at the state park and blew the tires out on the trailer.
Dude, we blew the tires out. I remember that.
Didn't even get to really fish. We had 30, 40 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, we caught some fish.
But, of Horseshoe was a good time.
We had a time at Horseshoe.
That place up by Memphis.
I remember that time at Brewer.
That's fun.
Remember that time at Brewer? In the winter,
Yeah,
February.
yeah. You caught that big A-rig fish. And you made, yeah.
I caught another A-rig fish too.
Yeah, you were on the A-rig with 18 wires hanging off of it and told me to grab him.
So
I remember that.
So I caught like back-to-back casts, right?
Yeah.
I had like a 5. I caught a 5 and I had that other 5 on, and I'm over here like, get it, and you're over here trying to get it.
Yeah, I said, screw it. I come out, I had 18 hooks in my hand. I was like, here we go.
Dude, we had a bag that day.
You told me to get him.
Get the
Lost
fish.
your mind.
Get the fish.
Flip him. That's what I do.
Oh man, that was some good stuff. Oh, that was good for sure.
Yes, it was. Yeah, that was a good day on Brewer that time of year.
Yeah, it was February. We caught fish on the Bama rig, and then we caught them
We caught fish doing a little bit of everything.
everything.
A little bit of everything. That lake is good. It's fished the past 2 years. It's fished real good,
Mm-hmm.
which I know you're pretty pumped about getting back down there.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back to Brewer.
And
I can't
this
wait.
year it was good. It's okay.
I'm gonna go out there to Brewer, and when I fish it again, I'm gonna get out there and go catch them on my little hover rig and my little this and that. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much. I'm gonna go flip the bushes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go flip the bushes.
You know what I'll be doing? Throwing hover rig.
Yeah, I can't wait to go out there and hunt a little bit, for sure.
There's some big ones in there.
Mm-hmm.
Real big ones in there.
All right, so you talked to me about your tournament you're fishing, but like a couple of things I was going to ask. One thing I was going to ask: hey, morning of a tournament, morning of a fishing tournament. What are you listening to?
Man, if I'm fishing a tournament, I say that even at work. First song of the day, every day, Rooster, Allison James.
Allison Chains Rooster.
I mean,
there's some people in our audience that's going to like that.
You got to do it. AC/DC. I'll get it's all over the place really, but I'm primarily a rock guy. I listen to country. Just depends on what I'm doing. I'm not. I'm on my back porch drinking beer and grilling. I'm not blaring hard rock. Yeah, I could be. I've got that option. I don't know. But tournament fishing, I'll get real fired up typically at about 10 in the morning. I'm it's just total polar opposite. I'm sitting in my boat eating crackers, scratching my head, wondering why I'm doing this, wondering why I bought this nice boat.
Yeah. So something about content. You talked about like chilling at 10 o'clock. Something about creating content. I've gotten pretty good at it because that's also made me better fisherman the last year. Like it's hard. People think it's easy, but no. I mean, there's a lot like you have pressure. It's like a tournament. You have pressure. You got to catch fish, or get the fish catches, or do this agenda you got to do with stuff. And Johnny warned me about it. Like when you get to the lake, calm down. Don't rush. Don't just freaking be all like you are in a tournament. And it's helped me boat captain some of these tournaments and fish tournaments that I have lately. But like even yesterday when I went out to Derek's, which was my first time in 35 days, I checked them out there. So I already got out there lakes. I had I just had stuff I had to do. But like I got to the ramp like 12:40. I didn't launch till 1:30. I had some phone calls come up. There ain't much service. Then I was in Michael's the Ranger that I was talking about earlier. It's not a key start. It's an electric start. And
you didn't know the code, did you?
I forgot that I forgot like you have to type in a code.
Oh, yeah.
I'm over here sitting down like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I had no service right there. I had to walk up there and I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. And I finally saw the numbers. I was like, oh, I remember the code. So I took my time, and then I'll get out there and I go graph for 10 minutes. I talk to my camera. I see some fishies, and then I drop the scope and 5-pounder first cast. And I was like, hey, so but it goes back to just being calm, relaxed.
Well, one of the big thing in tournaments, and one of my biggest issues, and it's something that I've tried to make myself be more aware of over the last year. Don't let your emotions get the best of you.
Yep.
And you've got way more time than you realize you've got.
Yep.
You do. That's I've had tournaments where I have an hour left.
Yep.
And I'll be trying to make that decision, hey, I think I can run over there and grab another one.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, dude, you got an hour left. That ain't, you need to stay put, keep the bait in the water, whatever, if you're struggling. And, afterwards I'll be like, why did I not do that? You run 80 over there. It'll take you a whopping 48 seconds to get there.
Yeah.
And that's something me and Carson, the last tournament that we fished on Hamilton this year together, we won. We had almost 18 pounds. And we we were in an area within a mile of the hatchery, and we had 8 minutes left.
Yeah, that's right.
Before weigh-in,
Uh-huh.
8 minutes, and we seen something, and I told him, I said, we'll pull up, go up there. I'm gonna start strapping everything down. We had a good bag already.
Uh-huh.
I said, make a cast at it. We have to leave.
Yeah.
And he throws up there and catches one almost 7.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was literally. I look at it, and I'm like, hey, we got 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're late. We're done.
Uh-huh.
And dude, we chunked it. We grabbed the fish, dropped it in the box, and rolled.
Yeah.
But then it's stuff like that. You gotta go wire to wire. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna compete. Unless you just roll out there and jack them, which I don't do that ever. You gotta do it.
Yeah.
And it was a good deal for both of us.
Man, before we close, I was going to ask you kind of some questions along the line. Now, I know you're right now at Middleton Heat and Air,
Yep.
selling air conditioning units.
Yes,
So,
sir.
and by the way, anybody that's listening still at this point, you have any heat and air problems, call Middleton, ask my man Brian.
Yeah.
Ask
Calls.
for Brian.
Yeah.
Now,
we can get you set up with somebody that can help if I can't. So
yeah.
we try to take the best care of everybody we can.
Now, you're like a salesman. You have that personality. I say something. You have that personality. Your dad was a salesman. You sold cars at Everett. It takes special people to talk to anybody and do what you do. But like, do you have you thought like goals for life? Have you thought like just life general goals or?
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of it really doesn't have to do with money.
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate and doing pretty good and being pretty successful in sales up until this point. We've got a lot of great things, but man, just being financially stable.
Yeah.
As long as my wife and I are happy and healthy and can go do what we want to do and provide for our kids, we're good. But really, just trying to be better every day. That's been the deal for me.
Yeah, you're newlyweds.
Yeah, just trying to be better, be a better husband, better worker, whatever the case may be. Son.
Good. I want to let's talk about being a husband. Okay.
That's different.
Yeah, it's different. Okay, I want to talk about being a husband. So I've been married for, oh my gosh, don't drop on camera, 8 years now. Yep, I have a kid. So we were married for a while, but we dated for a while before. But we were married before we had a kid. So one thing about being a husband, you're young, you'll learn. There's a lot of advice I can give, but the biggest is don't be selfish.
Yep.
And I think a lot of marriages, it's sad how marriages, it's kind of common now to see divorces. And there are things that happen. And there's stuff that's out of our control as kids. But when you're married, and you make that commitment, and like I said, I know stuff happens, and like people make mistakes, and it does. But I know one thing just from me as a coach, seeing kids and then households, man, selfishness is a lot of it, and that's one thing about marriage. It's a big unselfish relationship. There are times you don't want to do what you want to do. You might not want to do the dishes or the laundry or this or that, but man, it makes it a lot easier.
Lauren and I'm very fortunate in the aspect of, every married couple is going to argue at some point in time. You're going to have run-ins. You're going to piss each other off. I know I piss her off. She pisses me off. Oh, it's just, let's be upfront about it, but we don't go to bed mad.
That's something,
We don't go to bed mad. And, it's a commitment that we made. We will figure it out.
Yep.
We'll sit down, we'll talk about it, and we're good at admitting who's right and who's wrong, and that's important.
One good advice I had was say yes. Just say yes.
Yep.
That's fun.
Nod your head.
That say yes and listen.
Yep.
I mess that up sometimes. Like I got so much going on. Charlie be talking, and I might listen, but I'm not fully in tune. And then, of course, I had the dad joke. Like, I saw this meme. The You Betcha guy, who's hilarious, the You Betcha Midwest dude. I saw his video on it, and I did it. So, like yesterday, whenever this was aired, my wife, we took James for his first haircut, and Charlie got her haircut after. So, Charlie told me 2 weeks ago, hey, on Thursday, this day, I'm getting a haircut at 10 o'clock, or James is.
Lauren wants to kill me sometimes.
So, Charlie put it on the calendar. And then, of course, like Wednesday comes, and I'm like, hey, Charlie, I'm getting the boat. I'm going to go fish tomorrow. I need some fish catches. I'm going to go. I haven't fished by myself in a while. I was going to go tune on some skills. She's like, hey, what about my haircut? You're going to watch James during the haircut. was like, all right, hey, I'm gonna go fish after the haircut. But like I totally like I did the normal dad deal, or just made plans and forgot.
Yeah.
But oh man, so yeah. Anyway, but good. So hey guys, we're about to close this out. I appreciate you on.
Yes, sir.
Leave a
Appreciate you
comment.
having me.
Yeah, leave a comment on anything you thought was interesting about the podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, your comments on brush piles, comments on hey being a husband, a dad, any advice you want to give, man, I appreciate it, Bryar. And anything you want to say on your way out?
No, just keep watching him, keep following him. He'll have some interesting stuff coming up. And
We're trying to make it work.
good dude, one of the best dudes you'll ever
We're
meet.
trying to make it
Even
work.
if he does get mad at you.
All right, man. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys